enough of the compliance rates.
Compliance rates. Put in your feedback.
All right.
You're messing up our stat.
Yeah, Heather's mom bringing down her compliance rates.
I know.
Come on.
Our
What's she
coaching
at?
performance.
What is it?
No, she's at 55% compliance.
It's just because she's not putting in her results.
It's
you know
making
what
us look bad. Our
maybe
stats are going down.
That's true.
She has good weeks and bad weeks.
That's like everyone.
She's very hyped, and then
today's training was the worst training
for like 2 weeks
ever.
Yeah,
I did it. All right, the open is coming. People, winter is coming. Are you signed up? Who signed up?
Nah, I was about to say I need to do all that still.
Are you doing it, Harley? I thought you're biking.
I am biking.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to check some boxes.
Owning the goat can do it. You can do it too.
Oh yeah, we're 1-to-1. We're the same for sure.
That is exciting. I really like.
Do you want to hear a funny story about we can do the same?
Okay.
I on Friday I did 100 chest to bar, and with no structure in mind. I was just like, I'm gonna.
Or not yesterday. When did we do it heavy? 82. I can't even. Monday. This hurts so bad.
My arm was both arms were stuck at 90 degrees.
Oh, okay.
For 5 days. So we're on day 5. Now they're pretty good. It's bad.
I feel better. Okay. I feel so much better now. Because on Monday we did the 82. How did your arms feel?
No, we did 84.
84. Sorry.
My arms feel okay today. They were wrecked yesterday though.
Dude. Can I guess your rep scheme?
Oh, we just did
21 down to 3.
No, down to 6. And then at the end I did
it was 18 to 6.
Yeah. And then it's
to 6. That's not 84.
Well, 15, 12, 9, 6. And then we went 6, 9, 12, 15.
Oh yeah.
Okay. That makes more sense. 21 down to 3 is 84 as well. That's why I was guessing.
And then I did a set of 15 after because Cody was like, "Go get the volume."
Well, because you quit on the last set of 15.
Well, I didn't quit. I freaking blew up. I couldn't.
Do you want to know my format?
It was like, I'm dying. Oh, Cody, of course. This is Rich Froning you talk about. That's true.
No, it's frothing.
Oh, frothing. Rich Frothing.
Rick Frothing.
Rick Frothing. We're like Rick Ross. Dude, CrossFit. Only the OGs know about CrossFit.
Yeah, dude. Garrett Fisher out there.
Yeah.
Miami. With
so you start CrossFit too late to know who Rich Froning is. Dude, that's crazy though. Like this is cool because the open's starting. Go ahead, Harley. Tell your story though about the pull-ups or whatever you're gonna say with it. And we'll close it.
Basically, the way I did it was I jumped up. I did 1 set. I was just like, I'm just gonna go until it feels a little challenging. So I did 25, and I came down and I was like, that was really surprisingly easy. I haven't done chest to bar in a month. I'll be fine. I'm just gonna go to 100.
Your arms now in 3 weeks.
If I could do 25 easily once, I can definitely get to 100 and not have any problems.
Logic.
So I rested 1 minute, did another set of 25, and I'm like, I'm still pretty good. Rested 1 minute again, did a set of 20. I'm like, that was hard. That got a little loose, got a little weird. And then I did 2 more sets of 15. I was like, got to get there. And as soon as I finished, I looked at Deshaun and said, I think I just messed myself up.
I just gave myself.
I mean, you haven't used your arms in
He's
weeks.
used his arms. He's
weeks.
But in that capacity, yeah,
that's why you felt so good and so bad at the end.
Yeah.
So bad.
Why is it that it just explodes like that? Because like I did the 15, 12, 9, 6 unbroken. And then we went back up the ladder and I went the 6, 9, 12 unbroken. In the 15, I was just like, I can't even do a single pull-up.
Did you do the last 12 unbroken?
Oh, no, you're right. I went 7. You're right. Sorry. Okay, but either way, think about that. Like, why does it just fall off a cliff like that?
I mean, I would argue mine didn't fall off a cliff.
But you still.
But as soon as I was done, I knew I was done. It's either a skill endurance issue. It's either a skill endurance issue or a muscular endurance issue, or both. That's why you'd fall off a cliff. Is either
it was a muscle endurance issue. Yeah.
Your abs and hips don't have the endurance and stamina within them to coordinate the kip continuously, which to my downfall, I was fine in that regard.
I think it's because we paired.
Am I
with
cutting
line-facing burpees. Yeah, you got to pay your internet bill.
All right, sweet. I'll just shut up now then. Go ahead, open. Talk about it.
No, you're back. You're back. You're back. Go for it. You're back. You're back. Finish your story. We need to hear the cutout parts.
All I was saying was that it's either you have the skill endurance and you can do more than you should, or you don't have the muscular endurance and then your body just shuts you down and stops you in your tracks because you can't keep doing this kip efficiently.
Yeah.
And to my downfall,
Heather, you did it with me. What do you think was my problem?
Definitely muscle. I think your skill endurance is fine.
Yeah. It's just funny. It's just funny to like, you try so hard and then.
Well, and to your point about the line facing burpees, it's like you're pressing, and then you got to get up and pull.
Yeah.
And your arms don't really get a reprieve.
And then my coach had me doing ring muscles and bar muscles today, which I did, but it was hard.
Hey, you had me doing handstand walking, strict handstand push-ups.
You're an elite athlete.
Dumbbell pressing, all after all that on Monday yesterday. So rowing, more pulling.
It's because the Open's coming.
I think my arms fell off.
Do you guys think the Open is a good test of like generally who's a good puller more than anything? Or sometimes it's like, yeah, I feel like actually when I think about it more, the most bottlenecks are like upper body endurance. Mm-hmm. Like who's a good puller or who's a good presser?
Mm-hmm.
Like not all the time. I think they do flip back and forth. Sometimes. I don't know. I feel like that's like a gimme. Like I feel like a lot of CrossFitters, even GPP people, don't have a bottleneck other than their general fitness. But like, I feel like the people that don't stare at the wall or stare at the pull-up bar are like the ones at the top of the leaderboard always.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just thinking about it. I was like, oh man, the amount of upper body endurance in CrossFit should be a lot more than I think people focus on.
It's an upper body endurance test. Yeah. It's an upper body endurance test, and then it's a leg, like a squatting and general work capacity test. I think that the bottlenecks are in the muscular endurance of the upper body, the skills that create separation in the people who can do them well or not, and then just global long range of motion movement patterns, cardio.
Yeah, cardiac power output. Well, the Open's coming. Rich Froning signed up. Hopefully you're signed up too. It's going to be fun. Have you guys heard that CrossFit might be selling?
No, where'd you hear that from?
It's like on all the like barbell spin shows, the Sevon shows.
I heard that from a guy who shall not be named at Fittest of the Coast.
Yeah, the Hustle Up app. You guys know what the Hustle Up app is?
No. Nope.
So it's the app that they made everybody kind of download for the games. I want to say a year ago or 2 years ago. But either way, like you could follow the games through the Hustle Up app, and they were trying to. Did you see the ads for it? I don't know if people remember this. Because it was like so like, why do we have to use this? Merce and I downloaded it. I think I still have it on my phone.
Is that the one when you're like doing like a fantasy?
No, that's the He One app.
Oh.
No, the Hustle Up app, they partnered with CrossFit, I want to say 2 years ago, because we had it at the 2023 games. And we we're like using it for certain stuff. And they're like sending messages through it and covering the games and some other things. And then, they made us CJ knows. They made us download it for semifinals too, I think, to see the schedule. Well, anyways, the word on the street is the holding company that has that Hustle Up app is the company that is going to buy CrossFit. And they also are the holding company for Northern Spirit as well.
Interesting.
Which, I mean, I don't know, Harley, you wore the Northern Spirit stuff. I think the Northern Spirit stuff's not too bad, to be honest.
Yeah, CJ really liked it. I am fairly indifferent. I don't care about clothes enough. I don't think.
I like the shirts.
Yeah, the shirt's really light, really light and airy. Soft.
But wicking to a degree.
Yeah, wicking enough. I heard
then a cotton
that.
shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely lighter than a cotton shirt, a pure cotton shirt.
Yeah. The was I going to say about that? Oh yeah. And I also heard that, and also speculation, just to put it out there, because we have so many masters. I heard Northern Spirit, like, so the masters of the games got the Go Ruck shoes. I heard that Northern Spirit actually bought those shoes for the athletes. Like Go Ruck didn't
Donate them?
know. And Northern Spirit ponied up and bought them for all the athletes to give the athletes a good experience, which, like, good on them. Like, if that's true and they didn't say anything and like now it's leaking out because, you know, because the amount of hate that people get. What are you saying?
Leaking out.
Yeah.
They just waited long enough and it's like, we're good. We've been doing good stuff. Here you go.
Maybe.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, if it is, I mean, if they're doing it or whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is, like, if that happened, like for real, and it's not like to any capacity, it's like, oh man, the amount of hate that the masters community gave towards them, or anybody really, oh, we only got 3 shirts and 3 pants. Like, yeah, that sucks. I get it, right? Because you want more stuff. You made it to the games, and like even John, like his numbers are coming off his shorts a little bit and everything else. But like, I think generally, I'm like, oh man.
That was my only complaint about the Northern Spirit stuff. It seems like the printing was done too quickly. They were just in a rush.
Yeah, because like the one shirt I have, no, you're right. Because the one shirt I have from NorCal, or not, West Coast Classic, is like the heat transfer. Mm-hmm. And then the one that the Masters one I ordered online after the games that they had is like printed with like plastisol.
Yeah, so, the printed sweatshirt that you guys bought me as a souvenir at the age group games, that printing just seems substantially higher quality than what they gave all the athletes, whether it be individual, semifinal, or age group. I think that in the masses, in those larger events, they were just trying to accommodate the sheer number of people, and it just led to a deterioration of quality of the printing. The material, the blanks were good, but the printing seems to be hit and miss.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they took note of that. I guess I was only thinking about it because I heard that a couple of days ago, and I was just like, oh man, that's crazy. Because people get a lot of pushback, and it's the easy thing to do, like on the Instagram and the internet and everything else. And I was thinking about totality of the open and everything else, and just how much it's easy to be negative, I guess. And then when I think about something like that, I'm like, man, you know, it's a small sport, it's a hobby. If they really shelled out those dollars to buy those Go Ruck shoes, you know, they didn't have to do that, you know, and for them to want to do that, and then themselves didn't, you know, like Harley's joking and saying leak, but like they didn't come out and say that. Like somebody else is saying that about them, and if that ends up being 100% true, it's like, man, they just wanted it to happen. They wanted to have people have a good experience. They were willing to invest and sacrifice, and like, even though yes, the printing could have been better, it was their first year, and like, who's going to give the uniforms this year? Like for the Masters, you know, if there was a better, follow the wash instructions, people. Be your user error to wash everything together with towels at Harley.
Hey, joke's on you. My printing is fine. My printing hasn't fallen off yet. Yeah, that is actually a fact. My printing is fine. I've seen stories otherwise.
Follow
the towels keep the printing safe.
Oh yeah. That was good. Well, if that's not just Harley and that's you, maybe you made an error in your washing. Maybe you did. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought about that because like the Open's around the corner, and I know like there's not really a lot of sponsors and stuff. And I don't know, how much do you guys think about the Open? Like where's the Open sit for you guys in general? Like when you think about it? Because my problem is I got a lot of bias. I've been doing it for a long time. Yeah. I don't necessarily care what happens at the higher level. I'm going to stay in it, do my part. I get on the affiliate calls. I read the affiliate emails. I try to educate our coaches about what's happening. I stay up on the stuff because it's my job and I enjoy it. And I'm just like, and where I can make a difference, I make a difference. And that's where I sit with things. So like, I'm going to continue to do the Open. I'm going to continue to promote the Open. And like, that's what's in our ecosystem right now is like, the people are drawing lines for whatever reason. I even the other day was like telling Marissa that Sophia should do the teams of 2 WFP competition that they brought out. Like there's nothing wrong with competing these other comps. Like we even internally talked about competing this year more at these other comps externally and doing the open and supporting these things. Cause like for me, again, I have a bias. We're going to always do it. I think it's a great anchor point in the year for everybody that does physical fitness, and you can learn a lot from it. So like that's regardless of what's happening at the top of everything else. And I just don't concern myself. But that's where it sits. And I just think it's a phenomenal thing. And I think there are people involved who want to make it really good. And this is my like soapbox final push. Like if you're listening to us to sign up for the open, even if like you're hurt, you don't want to do it. Like that's why I brought up the Rich Froning thing. Like that dude is old. Like we know this. He's had knee surgeries. He is doing fitness, faith, and family. Like he's hunting. He just did Leadville this last year on a mountain bike. Like he's doing it.
He's doing train hard
Well,
to serve
like
and protect his family.
his post said, I'm in for the open and that's it. Right. Like just because you do
maybe,
the open and
maybe.
Well, okay. But I mean, he was implying that he was
yeah.
just going to do the open and that's it. So it doesn't matter what his scores is. I think some of these like higher level athletes that are like pulling themselves out of the open.
I'm not worried
whatever.
about them.
I know. I'm
the,
just saying like you could
people.
still participate in the open and support your community and your affiliate and people, you know, these athletes.
Another really interesting point about that though, in regards to the high level people, even though we're not that concerned about them, is that they can still get to the games without doing the open. So some of these people who may be like, I'm not doing the open. It's like, yeah, but I'm going to do NCC. I'm going to do the French Throwdown. I'm going to go to another in-person event. Yeah, seriously. He's like, Colt, that's going to be hilarious. Take you down.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't necessarily do the open to get to the game. So I'm not like concerned about those people.
Yeah.
I think it's more like, I watched these affiliates like recently take up arms against CrossFit for whatever reason. And like, we're going to put our flag in the ground and not do the open. It's like, who are you actually like hurting at the end of the day by doing that? I think, and that's why I brought up the Northern Spirit thing. I think you're honestly hurting yourself and your gym more than the greater community. Like, because there are things at work that you don't see happening. That's why I brought up the Go Ruck thing. Like, if that is true, they spent a bunch of money on the Masters athletes to have a good experience and get those shoes, and they still took heat for it, right? There's a lot of things that people do on the back end that people don't see or understand or realize. And then you're deciding like, oh, we're not going to do the open because right now, and I don't want to bucket everybody, but it's like, oh, morally, I can't do this. And it's like, okay, but what did you do? Like, did you send an email? Like, because you not doing it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Like, you're only hurting yourself and your community, which is unfortunate.
How do you feel about, here's just a sort of in between ground, people, affiliate owners, etc., not pushing members to sign up, but using it as a tool to drive community?
If they're actively trying to get people not to sign up, I have a problem with it.
No, I'm not saying that. Because like if they're just not saying we want to get as many signups as possible, please sign up under our name, blah blah blah. Put your name on the leaderboard for the sake of measurable, repeatable placements, as you know, the excuse and the rationale that a lot of people use. But they're like, hey, we see the value in the open. We are a CrossFit affiliate. We support the open. We support it as a tool to drive community, camaraderie, finding intensity, getting excited, etc. But we're not going to try to actually like say, hey, go sign up here. We're just saying we're doing the open on Fridays. We're doing Friday Night Lights, but it's just our event. How do you feel about that?
So me personally, it's the same thing as I feel like when we became a High Rocks affiliate. I want people to get fit, right? Do I think that High Rocks has a training methodology that is superior to No. Do I think it's a certain style of training? Yes. Have CrossFitters shown that if you just train CrossFit, you're going to be pretty good? Not great, but pretty good, better than most? Yes. So like CrossFit still trumps in that area. But the point of that is like they're doing fitness. People are coming in and it's cool and they like it and it's their style because it's more aerobic and they want to do the thing. Same thing with affiliate owners wanting to do the open regardless and having their members do it and getting them engaged and doing the Friday Night Lights and fitnessing. I'm all for it. Where I have the problem is, again, it goes back to the analogy of the Northern Spirit thing. You're potentially hurting me as an affiliate owner because we're all in this together, all of us affiliates. And those dollars, whether, and like, I know they're like, oh, it goes to the prize purse. I know for a fact that not all of it goes to the prize purse. I know for a fact that some of it pays for the salaries of the people working at CrossFit. And I know that's where people like draw the line. It doesn't all go to Dave Castro, which I know people have a problem with. And I don't want to like go there with that. But there's somebody at CrossFit who makes the PDFs, or a team of people. There's somebody at CrossFit who edits the videos. Like, we go to comps and I take photos and Harley takes photos and we edit those photos and videos and we give them out to our athletes and everything else. That takes time, energy, resources, camera equipment that's not cheap. Like, the money that goes into CrossFit comes back to you as an affiliate owner for sure. And what I've seen, and I argue, there are affiliate owners, and I've questioned some of them, that put a line in the sand and you go, okay, that's great. How many affiliate calls have you been on? Because the last affiliate call about the open, and this was how many months ago, Heather? I sent out the text of the notes when they dropped what the open was
like
going to be
3 months ago, maybe.
Yeah, 36 affiliates on that call. And then when you go to YouTube, because it's unlisted, but I still have the link, there's only 1,230 something views on that video. There's close to 10,000 affiliates. So they're not using that resource of that Zoom call where CrossFit HQ
is giving them
information.
Yeah.
A ton of valuable information. And that's just one example. When the open comes out, CAP program, the people that work for CAP, CrossFit Affiliate Programming, will give you warm-ups, cool downs, class structures that you as an affiliate owner can go in, copy, paste into your workout delivery system that you didn't have to write, that yes, you're paying for in your affiliation. You know, there's so much there. And that's another thing. Then there's the roundtables. Then there's this, and all of that stuff is people's time, energy, resources. And if you don't think that all the money that comes in, whether it's the open, your affiliate fees, the community cup, the semifinals, the games, like all of those partnerships, those dollars don't somehow get back to you as an affiliate owner. And then by proxy of the owner, the level 1 coaches that coach under you, you're just not taking advantage of those benefits. And then you're going to stand out here and be like, we're not going to do the open, you know, to really stick it to them. And they're giving you all kinds of stuff, like not free because you pay for it in your affiliate. But I would argue if you sat down and looked at the value of what they're giving you and looked in the details of what they're giving you and like go, it's not like, I mean, now it's hard to say this nowadays because there's AI and chatbot, but like a human being has to make those resources. And then human beings have to get on those calls, schedule the calls, take their time out of their day, speak to you, you know, and like, they're not just doing this for free.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how are they going to put food on their table, keep a roof over their head? And you're drawing a line in the sand because you're mad at Dave Castro or whoever. So like, yes, do the open in your gym. That's totally fine. Get people to move, be fit and healthy. But like, think about the greater impact of individuals that you're hurting, like myself or other coaches in the world that you're hurting. And I don't know if I really want this podcast to go that way, but I feel good about being able to say that out loud.
Yeah, I think so. As you were talking about whatever our earlier point was, the thought came to, you was talking about Northern Spirit buying shoes, and regardless if they spread the information or not about them, you know, I jokingly said leaking the information about them doing a good deed for the masters. I think that actions speak louder than words always. And I think that doing the right thing is always, you know, what we should be striving for as individuals. It doesn't matter necessarily of like what a company does or what someone who works for a company chose to do or how they reacted. This idea of polarization in the climate of our country and world right now of politics, and the fact that it feels like it's trickling into our like what?
Yeah. No, I was gonna say how because I like hockey and I was watching the
Canada US.
Luckily I was watching it live and I was just like, are you kidding me? And like Marissa's upstairs with Ruth, and I like the next day she's like, did you see this? I was like, yeah, I watched it live last night. and they're booing the U.S. national anthem after the announcers say, "Hey, let's have respect for the national anthem and the players that play under the flag and everything else." And like you're having competition of nations, so it makes sense to play the national anthem and everybody applaud and move on with their day. Like just in that fact, like it doesn't have to bleed into everything in our lives.
I was going to say it's bleeding into the sanctity of sport, like the sanctity of fitness. This is a gym and a community of people that at one point we were just stoked to be doing it.
CrossFit. Don't boo our boys. Well, what's hilarious is they fucked them up. 9 seconds in, started that fight. And they like Canadian hockey players should be embarrassed because not only did they get their asses beat on the ice, the US won that game. It was hilarious. But I mean, it's all in good fun, though. I think I'm sure the U.S. players. Well, no, they talked about it. They're like, oh, well, now in the half, they were like, yeah, now we're just going to focus on playing hockey, but like we're not going to stand for that. I was like, yeah, let's go. It was sick. They're going to play tonight, also, if you guys want to see for the final one championships, right? No, 20th. Sorry, not tonight. Someone might want to double check that. It's either tonight or tomorrow. But anyways, it was cool. But back to your point, Harley. You're right. It's bleeding in. It's affecting those things. Cause like, let's take it a step further and we'll use the hockey example. So the fans booed and then the players fought each other. Don't play that song. Turn that off. We're gonna get a copyright strike. Don't do that.
Sorry.
But like, think about it. It's the same thing. It's like almost the same situation, just different circumstances. Though I'm talking about the affiliates and me as an affiliate owner. People are booing, and then I have to go and fight the Canadian people. And then like those, you don't want the US players, I don't think want to fist fight the other Canadians. And the other Canadians, I mean, whatever, it's hard to say, right? People are going to be like, oh, it's hockey, and I get it. But that happened because people booed. Like, that's crazy. Let's just play hockey. You know what I mean? Like, what if we turn around in like 2 years from now, there is no more CrossFit open? There'll be something. Don't worry. There'll be something. It'll be small, but because I don't think people understand how robust like running the open is and doing everything that they do. I think people think it's like really easy to pull off. It's not. Good for them for doing it.
Think about how challenging it is as an affiliate owner, just running Friday Night Lights in your own gym.
Dude.
People think is, no, whatever. They just show up with some clipboards and it's fine. You know, it's like, yeah.
We're gonna make ours lit. I need to get like little stopwatches for every person.
Yeah.
Every judge. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get every stopwatches. It'd be so official. It'd be cool. Anyways.
You gotta bust out those judge shirts.
Let's see what CrossFit said. I think the Hooks also centered president the Canadian doesn't like, but oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get super political because I don't.
Yeah,
I mean,
let's
like unless you're gonna jump out of things and become an advocate and get involved and get into Congress or whatever. Like same thing with CrossFit. Unless you're gonna get on the CrossFit Athlete Council, you're gonna apply for a job at CrossFit. Like you're not gonna make change with your complaining. Like it just doesn't work. But if you're super passionate about it, get involved and like actively make change. And I'm down with it. Like I support you because changes do need to be made. There's a lot of things that we could change. There's, there's not a whole lot to learn, but a lot of easy low hanging fruit. Like WFP put out the movement list, which was funny because it's just basically every movement in CrossFit. So I laughed because I was like, well, did you really need that list? Like people want to, this is the movements we're going to do in the season and we're not going to go outside them. And it's like almost like 80, 100 movements. And it's like with the dumbbells, dumbbell deadlifts, dumbbell hang cleans, dumbbell clean and jerks, dumbbell hang, single dumbbell hang clean.
Like we're going to do CrossFit.
Right. And I get it. Some people like to see those things and like, okay, yeah, now I know what we're doing. And that makes me feel good. But if you just follow CrossFit, CrossFit.com, CrossFit in your affiliate, like, do you really need that movement list? So those are things where I'm just like, oh, CrossFit told us they also had typos and rebounding box jumps. Oh, don't get me. I think rebounding box jumps should be allowed, but we'll save that for another day. For athletic training, maybe not in competition, but athletic training and training your Achilles so it doesn't snap, you should rebound in a controlled setting under practice. Anyways, yeah, it's just, I don't know. Some of the stuff I think our attention and focus gets on things that don't need to be focused on. And there are bigger fish to fry, let's say, but yeah, that's the open is coming and I want you to sign up. I want you to think about me when you could.
So I plan to sign up as a leader in not only the gym I coach at, but in the pack, right? Like we have so many people who still compete at a relatively high level and for their respective divisions and are pursuing, a high level finish in the open and using it as a tool to get to the next stage. I would feel a little bit wrong, even though I have a good excuse not to, if I just didn't check the box. And I think that like sign up,
Marissa
do the
did the
judges
open
course.
pregnant and
Well, yeah. Here's my
no one has
follow up there. Here's my follow up.
Yeah.
The good excuse is that I'm training for something else and there's a race April 12th. So right now in March, I need to be prioritizing that. That's my good excuse. And my goal has changed. Acknowledging that the goal has changed for my own fitness endeavors, I still believe in what the roles that I hold in my career and the influence I have with the community that I am surrounded by. And I want to be a positive role in those spaces. I think the small act of signing up, setting my ego aside because I'm going to get wrecked. We just joked about me doing 100 chest to bar and being
still at 100 chest to bar
immobile for 4 days. Like the reality is I'm going to be wrecked from those sessions. But at the same time, like I think I still believe it's the right thing to do. And I need to lead from the front and not look at the leaderboard because that's going to hurt the shit out of my ego too. I used to be okay at this, but I'll let it go.
Yeah, and even if you don't want to sign up, you still do it and participate. The whole thing I was saying was like there are affiliates out there that I think you need to think about that maybe aren't doing as well as you're doing. Like Harley, you should sign up because you're at DTC and everything else. And it's like the wheel going around, right? It's a cog in the system. And I think so many people don't realize, and maybe that's it. Maybe that's the point. They want the wheel to stop spinning, but ultimately at the end of the day, that's going to hurt you once it stops spinning. Because if there's less affiliates doing CrossFit, like then you're just going to be doing functional fitness. And like, I know people say like, oh, well, no one really is coming to my gym because of the CrossFit name. That's bullshit. I guarantee you if I audit your emails of your CrossFit affiliate, there are tons of them that come in because of it's a CrossFit affiliate. The same way that people know that we are a High Rocks training club, we are now getting emails about it being a High Rocks training club and people want to come in. So like, just be reasonable with yourself and realize like, okay, we're doing CrossFit.
Yeah, I feel also inclined within the DTC climate because one of our coaches is a little bit more on the anti side. And then our owner is like, no, we're an affiliate. We support the methodology. We want to utilize it to what it was designed for, which is driving community and camaraderie. And then I'm over here like, well, I'm very in tune with the season and want to, be a leader and a good resource for those who do want to capitalize their experience. So it's like this 3 different sort of perspective of why we're going to do it. And even one of them is like, yeah, we don't need to do it. And so I feel obligated to try to be a resource there.
Yeah. What would be a reason not to do it? We got a lot of people in the comments. So this is good. Go ahead and comment why you wouldn't want to do it. I like Carlos though, telling people to chill the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What did Carlos say? I was in the middle of the rant.
Being against the CrossFit Open, but still training in CrossFit and doing comps that are CrossFit is crazy. These athletes and certain people need to chill the fuck out. And like, so I hear this argument a lot and I agree with it. I think flushing it out is like this. Because people are like, well, I can still do CrossFit without doing the CrossFit Open. Sure, you can, right? But like, I think there are more people than you realize doing CrossFit and not calling it CrossFit. Like when we went to Fittest of the Coast, there was a guy in there doing what looked like HWPO training to me. And Sophia's seen him at Ethos doing it. And there are tons of people that go into these global gyms and do CrossFit and have been in affiliates in the past. Again, in the greater ecosystem and small business ownership of being an affiliate, those people are hurting my business. And people don't think so because, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt them at all. Like, no, it does, because you're not saying the word CrossFit. You're not encouraging people to go into a CrossFit affiliate, to see a coach, a level 1 coach, or a weightlifting coach, or a powerlifting coach. Like, you're not directing people in the right way to get the right resources to meet a professional that's really trying to hone their craft and cares about this thing under the banner of CrossFit. And like, let's be real. Look at every fitness training methodology right now, or method of fitness, even bodybuilders. I was joking the other day, and someone in the comments can correct me, or you guys can correct me. If I do a workout that's 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, which is pretty classic right now in a lot of the bodybuilding world, they're starting to use that descending rep scheme, which became popularized through CrossFit. And I do lat pull down and bicep curls. Am I still doing CrossFit? Back to back to back for time.
Yes.
Yeah. Just because the movement selection changes doesn't mean that the methodology of intensity and those primary rep schemes and structures of training that CrossFit have popularized over the last almost 3 decades now, you're doing CrossFit just disguised as bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And so for me, biasly, you're hurting me and my coaches and our staff and our community by not just being like, yeah, it's CrossFit. I'm doing CrossFit. If you really like it, either do it with me here in the Ethos gym or go to your local affiliate and find a great trainer. There's like nothing wrong with that. That's super positive and helps a lot of people. And like the open for me is the same. Like, that's why I think I align with those comments when people say like doing CrossFit without doing the open is crazy, or like excommunicating yourself from and de-affiliating and all this other stuff is kind of crazy to me, because you're not teaching CrossFit a lesson. Like you're just,
well, really, you're just like stealing from their methodology, especially the people who've like done CrossFit before, and then
I don't want to go as far as saying stealing, but
that's where I would draw the line there. I don't think that anyone is stealing.
Maybe that's a wrong
I don't
word.
think.
It just means,
it was too harsh. It was too harsh.
Okay.
Back it up.
okay.
I
Maybe
think
it's
that all training is tools.
Yeah.
Sure, but I think it's like you're using this methodology and this idea that you've learned from, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm just not going to associate with that anymore, but I'm still going to do it, and I'm still going to like get these benefits from it, which, I mean, I guess to each their own, but I think it's like the thing that you're trying to stick it to them, but you're still doing it. So it's like,
yeah,
here's where
here's the thing. I love this argument real quick though, because CrossFit said, back offsets preceded CrossFit. Sure, they did. A lot of things preceded CrossFit, but what you're neglecting to remember is that Greg took them and took the things and put them all together. And I'm not saying that because you can't argue that he invented fitness. He didn't. What he invented was a definition of fitness. And then he took combinations and he put the clock to things. So doing 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, whatever movement selection you're doing for time is CrossFit. Now, even if you did it for quality, but you still didn't rest in between, you're still doing CrossFit. I don't care if there's a clock to it. The idea still stands. And that's where the argument comes from, is that he didn't create those things. He took them as tools, like Harley's saying, and put them together in a fitness program and said, hey, level 1 people, hey, level 2, hey, CrossFit affiliate owners, hey, here's this continuing education. Here's the CrossFit journal that you can read from. Here's how all of these things that you can build on and build your knowledge as a fitness coach and fitness trainer. Also get other certifications, learn other things, specialize, and build your knowledge so you can take the base principles and apply them through your personal methods and the methods of CrossFit to create this fitness that we've created by doing these things together. Let's see
I think it's artistry. Like,
yeah. The rep schemes are the strategies. I was just saying that it is pretty classic on .com when you look at it in the history of CrossFit, just like 21.59. If someone is doing 21.59 in any shape or form, you're doing CrossFit, you know? So
yeah, what I was going to say is strength and conditioning principles and different methodologies and approaches to training, all the different disciplines out there in the world, whether they be specific rep schemes, loading, waves, drop sets, etc., bodybuilding, powerlifting, Olympic lifting, endurance, gymnastics, all of that. I would argue that CrossFit is the whole, right? Like it's the mix and match of all of those, and doing things for time and to increase work capacity within either a given time domain, a certain amount of volume, and or, you know, to drive intensity, to drive performance. That is CrossFit. I think that if a bodybuilder is training 5 days a week of upper body, lower body splits, trying to drive hypertrophy and aesthetics, and they do one accessory piece that is like per week or per day, they're not doing CrossFit.
Right.
As an overarching strategy of training. They're using an inspiration from CrossFit that maybe, you know, is a tool that they pulled from, but the training program they're following is not. So that is where I would sort of I just wanted to find those parameters of like what you're saying, because you took, I think, like you zoomed in to that one piece rather than like looked at the whole program, right? Like,
and to the point of that is I would like those people, like if they were questioned about what they're doing, they'd be like, oh yeah, I took a CrossFit inspired interval or whatever, or like whatever they want, circuit, whatever word they want to use. And I applied it to my bodybuilding method and I did it. Like, yeah, this one's good. Because Marcus Filly you're right. Marcus Filly is doing CrossFit. And he said that multiple times, that he's doing CrossFit. He takes CrossFit. So he gives a lot of credit to CrossFit. So I have nothing wrong with Marcus Filly calling it functional bodybuilding, everything else. A lot of that stuff was because in the early days, which this is unfortunate, he didn't want to get sued by CrossFit because they're trying to protect the brand, their methodology, their education. Like it's the same way as like, well, personal trainers aren't really like governed by a body, so they're not really going to get sued or anything. Like you could have your CSCS and no one really gives a shit. I mean, some people do, but some people don't. But like the CSCS has a lot of education in there that I think most people don't even know about. And there's a lot of how to structure intervals through your CSCS that look a lot like CrossFit, and have changed over there too.
I think Marcus Filly is an interesting one because he's missing a lot of the principle.
CrossFit now.
What?
Yeah, he's doing a lot more CrossFit now.
Yeah.
In the last year. Yeah.
So I was just going to say that like his finishers, like if you look at his like older programs that have come out sporadically over the last like 5 years, the like templated ones that you can buy like ebooks of, like they all finished with little AMRAPs, descending rep scheme style.
Just CrossFit. Just movement selection
for sure. Yeah. Movement selection may vary, and movement combinations aren't as common as what you'd see in CrossFit, but that is definitely a CrossFit style approach, but it's very biased towards the aesthetics, the muscular development, the hypertrophy, the time retention, tempo work, etc., unilateral balance, all this stuff. I can use big words. Cool. That said, I think that the goal and the principle that he wasn't utilizing is trying to increase work capacity across broad time and modal domains, right? Like he doesn't care about going long, going short, and sprinting all the time. He used that sometimes. He cared about the effects that those things would hold on his aesthetics and system, not the performance aspect of it. So that would be the only argument I would have against, is he doing CrossFit? It's like, yes, 99%. Like, because he doesn't have the focus of like, yes, we're trying to go hard to.
That's like an interesting thing. Right? Seriously, right? So like his intention, but is his intention different than the biological adaptation? Does that make sense? Like,
I think so. I mean,
because
go ahead, keep going.
His intention is what you're saying, but the adaptations that he gets from some of the methods he's doing does increase his performance.
For sure, because that's just a natural side effect of training.
Right. So that's what I think. Like,
so he's reaping the reward of doing this, the rep scheme strategy, AMRAPs, etc. Whether or not that's his actual specific goal. Yeah.
Right. And that's
because CrossFit works.
Right. And that was just my point of like, once people realize that, they can be like, okay, I see why I want to support affiliates. I see why I want to support.
That's a good one.
Coaches.
That last comment was good, because it was exactly what I was saying.
He wears a shirt now more because he, quote unquote, what he said, he's getting fluffy because he's
insecure.
Yeah.
He's insecure about those veins. They're too small now.
No. He openly said it was good. I like his vulnerability. Nah, he wants to look sick, shirtless, and jacked. True. He did openly say that year that he spent getting lean was very unhealthy.
He fucked himself up.
He did. Yeah, hormonally, he messed himself up. He's all open and transparent about all of this. So and he's outwardly to the world. You can listen to the podcast. And he said it on the Buttery Bros as well. So I'm not saying anything that he hasn't already said. He also said that doing that type of training elicited the adaptations they wanted. Being restrictive in his eating elicited the adaptations they wanted, but he realized that that's the wrong path to go down because his hair started getting brittle. He started getting sick. Like, yeah, he looked great, but now he's been using the last year and like this year to put more weight on, get his lean mass higher, not worry about being so lean all year round. And he did say he got the feedback loop from Instagram. So like, even though CrossFit's saying like he looks sick with his shirt off, jacked and everything else, that feedback loop, he admitted like that gave him more desire to continue down this route that was destructive. And he said all
destructive and severe. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not saying anything he didn't say openly. I might be paraphrasing. Might not be quoting correctly everything else, but like he openly said that to the world and the public. And I think that's something good to note, and he's doing a lot more CrossFit now as well.
Acknowledge and reflection to that's important. What I always thought was interesting about his marketing and messaging, especially hearing him talk about like, oh, the feedback loop of like, I look jacked, I'm looking more shredded, I'm looking more lean, and that sort of fed upon itself and increase that desire to pursue that.
Yeah, way off.
His for sure. His marketing, it was always like, if you want to build muscle, and I'm like, dude, you've been losing muscle for the last 6 years.
He did say that on the podcast too.
Mm-hmm.
He has been marketing that if you want to build muscle is the way you train. And I'm like, what's interesting is you went from being the most jacked to skinny, shredded. Like, I would argue that you lost a ton of lean tissue.
Yeah. And I don't want to say anything negative about that training style because that training style is good. It incorporates CrossFit methods.
I use it a lot.
Yeah, it's amazing. So don't get it twisted that we don't like that type of training. I think it's great. And it's good to do. It's low intensity most of the time. And yeah, people got to do it. It's healthy and helpful. Just don't take it to an extreme. Same thing with CrossFit. Like you could take CrossFit to an extreme as well and be very unhealthy with that. Lots of people do it. Well, back to the open as best we can.
Yeah.
I was going to go on because Regina shared her post, which I really, now that we're kind of in that vein, just a little bit, like just to touch on, because we have somebody in our training group who posted recently, and I applaud her post. Regina was talking about how she was really always trying to get that body aesthetic, that look of muscle and being super lean. And like, she just basically posted how she was like sick, and she's coming back and she's coming out of that phase. So it can happen in both ends, whether you're doing functional bodybuilding or you're doing CrossFit, and applaud her. That was really good. Made me think of it though, because we were talking about that and we have somebody close to home who shared that story, and it's important to note. But back to the open really is just talking about all this stuff because I don't want people like do whatever you want to do lots of competitions, do little competitions, do the WFP, like we're promoting, trying to get people who want to do that, but don't like cloud yourself with like, hey, we're not going to do the open because of CrossFit HQ. It's like, no one cares. And at the end of the day, you're hurting other affiliates. You really are. And you're hurting your members. I think you are through just what I'm seeing. And it's tough. It's hard for me to say that because I know that that's not the intention. And I know the intention is good. And the intention is to like make some change. And I think the way you can make the most change is like what Rich is doing, coming out of quote unquote retirement to do the open. And I know he wants things to be better. They've been hypercritical on their podcast, the Mayhem podcast, for years about shit that CrossFit needs to do better. And so if you think that because now they're involved, they're going to keep their mouths shut, like, no, they're saying what they need to say. And I think if you get actively involved in that, if you feel passionate about it, you can definitely make a big change. But if you don't, step up, I don't think you're going to make the change you think you're making. So we have a good podcast with Renata on how to do the open and everything else for GPP people. If you guys want to watch that one, I was going to see if like people, what we were excited for. I am excited for the announcements in general. I think I love those. Those are always super fun. Have you guys ever rewatched old announcements?
I saw the clip of Rich talking about the announcement with him and Jason when they did it in Santa Cruz, and it was like on an elevated stage. And if you look around, like those photos, like there were stills of them at NC Fit and of like Jason next to Rich and stuff. And if you just like pan through the crowd, it's like just like a who's who type of group, right? Like you can recognize like 7 out of 10 people across the board because it's just like all people who are still relevant in the space. They're a little bit more forward in the media and their own like channels and marketing, but like it's just fun to see. Like if you look back at the old school like clips, everyone's still there. Like all the people that we're familiar with nowadays that people would know who weren't around then, they were there then. Like they are OGs.
Even Rich Froning, Cody.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Rick
I mean,
Frothing.
you know what's funny is like you say that, and I'm like, oh man, that Cody brings up the good point. 25.3. Like here are the guys who are going to do it: Sprague, Hopper, Pepper. Like those are the guys, dude. Like that's the new age of CrossFit.
For sure.
Like that's like what you're saying. Like Jason and Rich in 2014 when they did that announcement at Kezar Stadium, we were there in person. It was so sick. And like these three guys are making we should do, well, no, that skateboarding is not a crime, but like, sure, it's make CrossFit cool again. Like they're going to do it.
I thought when they
those
did
guys
the
are going to make
Kezar
CrossFit cool again.
I mean, they had,
no, let's talk about the new guys. I don't want to talk about the old.
I know.
Old
I'm just
let's
saying
talk
like
about
they
Sprague
had,
and Hopper.
that's what
and
they're
Pepper.
doing. Yeah.
It's gonna Jace apparently verbally assaulted Jason Hopper on his Instagram. So
really?
we're gonna get attacked by more cronies.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Jason Hopper's cool.
Jason, and apparently this is a story. I just got off the phone with Jace, so I didn't see it myself. This is what he said. Jace commented on Jason Hopper's belt announcement, whatever belt company he's sponsored by, releasing.
He's sponsored by Two Food. Let's give him a plug. I actually like his belt better than Dallin Pepper's belt. Just so we're clear.
So yeah, I don't even know what they look like. But that said, he said in his little highlight video, it's like, oh, if you want to be better than Dallin, because I'm better than Dallin and my belt's better than Dallin, like buy this belt or something like that.
Not better than Dallin though.
I know, and so that's what Jace told him.
Games. Yeah,
Jace was like, "I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure Dallin like has beat you in everything recently." And then Jason Hopper is like, "In what? Like, what did he beat me in?" And then Jason like, Wadapalooza, Rogue, the game, like pretty much everything.
Didn't he beat him in reps ahead?
Didn't Dallin beat him in reps ahead?
Did they went? I didn't watch that.
I have no idea. I don't know. Did they?
The Wadapalooza, I think they did the reps ahead, like how Haley Adams and Alex Kazan went head to head. I think it was Jason Hopper and Cody. You watched it. Cody, tell us who won. Was it Hopper or Pepper? Oh, Hopper won.
He got him in one thing.
Oh, there we go. No, reps ahead champ, man. That trumps all. The.
I mean, it is the up and coming thing. It's the most important thing.
Jason Hopper won the reps ahead. Well, there you go. There it is. He's the winner. He is the winner. Jace is wrong.
Jace is so wrong, dude. Poor guy. Hopefully Jason Hopper doesn't have cronies like Hillary.
He said it's always the last comp is how they measure. I don't know how the people measure. I think it would be the highest level comp. So that's like what I would measure. Over the games or both. If you beat them at both, you got them 2-0. Hopper podium at Rogue. Oh, he did. So the Hopper is better. Jace is wrong.
Well,
only as good as your last win. Okay, true.
Well, Jace, you're wrong. You have to go apologize on that post now.
I would. Hey, I would
comment on it and just be like, "Hey, buddy, I'm really sorry. I did some more research. I realized that you are far superior. I actually like your belt better too.
That was a little much. Now you went too far.
You have a great smile.
Please forgive me. Too far. Just, yeah. I think it's solid. At minimum, I would. Like, fuck. Hey, did some research. You know what? You got that Pepper guy. You're better than he is. You're right.
You can start calling him Salt. No.
And Pepper, get it? I got it. Oh, man. All right. That was a long long one. We got way far off. I just wanted to inspire people to do the open.
Do
Just even
stuff.
for me.
Use fitness.
Even for me, because I love
Hang
it.
out with the homies.
Like I honestly, if CrossFit goes away, we should still just do the open. Like create our own open. You know,
You know what I miss?
just like for the
Friday,
gym.
we do
people
that
sign
every
up.
Friday
Saturday.
night lights. Just like invite
Dude.
all the local gyms. Just whoever wants to come hang. Just go work out. Friday night.
That's
throwdowns.
gone. Those days are gone.
I'm gonna bring it back someday.
It's even like Heather was going to talk more about the OG guys, and I was like, no, those days are gone. It's good to have like nostalgia, but let's just like lean into this Hopper Sprague down situation.
No, that's all great. Well, I'm just asking, like, do you think that those Friday night little throwdowns aren't worth it anymore?
Oh no, they're entirely worth it. I just don't think affiliate owners have enough. I don't know what word to use.
Bandwidth,
What?
interest,
Yeah, interest. Well, let's use interest.
humility to invite others into their space.
Yeah, interest and humility. Those are good. Those are good words to use to just be like, all right, F it. Because like if our space, if we had, let's say, I don't know, 4,000 more square feet and we could do like 8 to 10 lanes at one time. Oh, 100%. I'd be like, anybody and everybody, let's do it. It'll be fun. Bring your friends, family. But because it's just hype. Like you're talking about, it is hype. It's so cool. And if there was a gym in the area that like wanted to do that, that could do 10 lanes, which there isn't in this area.
Why do you need 10 lanes?
So you can run a lot of people through it. You gotta go 10 people at a time.
Well,
like,
I think it would also be cool
because if you got like
it gives
60,
like
look at Harley's
affiliate,
like, no.
it gives affiliate members like also that experience.
If you got
of,
60 people showing up to do the open on Friday
You
night,
got to cap it.
No, dude, we need 10 lanes. No.
You can cap it. It's not stupid.
You can. I said it was sick. I didn't say it was stupid. I said it'd be so
oh.
sick to have even 100 people. You get 10 heats of 10 people, dude. Oh my god.
That becomes a local comp on a weekend that takes a
What?
whole
That's
day.
what I'm saying.
Like,
I'm talking about like
No,
just cool.
I want that.
create
If we're gonna
hype.
do it, if we're gonna do it, I want it big, man.
Well, then
I mean,
you
I
just
know
want to
that's-
run a local comp. That's what you
No,
want
no,
to do.
No.
Friday
No,
Night Lights.
I want
I
CrossFit.
want 3
want
workouts that
Yes.
are 7 to 12 minutes.
See,
you're
servicing
running-
people. My wife agrees with me. It would be wild.
It would be
But, like-
wild. I don't think that means she agrees with you. I think I also agree it's wild. That's just not the
Wildly
same
fun.
context.
Wildly
Dude,
successful.
I think that if you capped it at 40, you could run 8 heats.
You could.
of
You could.
5. 8 heats of 5.
Okay, but what's the difference of doing 10 heats of 10 then?
Well,
You're already doing 8 heats of 5. You're doing the same number
No.
of heats.
well, that's
You
not
just-
what I was talking about. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you could do it in a smaller space, is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, she is right. There are affiliates that have 300, 500 members. So 100 people in an affiliate would happen.
Oh, for sure.
Like
Yeah.
by
At
yourself.
those huge ones. Yeah, for sure. When the rest of your members do it.
Yeah,
if it's-
What do? You get capped 40 people. So yeah, she's just pointing out that like if you have a 300 person gym, there is a high likelihood that you have close to 100 people. And then because like Curry and Sundown, we had like 60 to 70 people who signed up for the open.
Yeah.
So I get what she's right. I'm just saying like you're to your point. I think that'd be dope. I'm down for it. It would be a fucking nightmare and headache and stress ball. But like here's what makes it easy. You enroll people. Like we have a Kathy. She's an AFJ judge. We have a Kathy. Everyone needs a Kathy. Then you get people under her and she controls all those judges. And even if they're members who like learn how to judge, and she runs like little like 30-minute thing like for people in the gym on the weekends just to brush them up, go over movement standards, like have a really good time, enroll people, and they feel good, and like now they have a job, which is an important job, and then they also know what they're doing and they have autonomy, and yeah, that's good. And then from there, like you have all the athletes who know what they're doing, you set up the lanes, and then CrossFit gives you, because you're a CrossFit affiliate, you're doing the open, they give you the cap warm-ups, which everyone does. You have one coach every time people got to come through the 10. Those 10 people do that warm-up with that one coach. They take the floor. We got all the judges. The people work out. You have like a 5 to 10 minute window. The people who just worked out become the new judges, and you got Kathy running it through. On top of that, CrossFit is doing all of the back end of here's the workout, here's the standards, here's the PDFs, here's the judging score sheets that you just print out. It's going to be a lot of paper. And then You also have like whatever else, movement demos. Cap does like, here's how you do the workout. And you just push all these resources at the people. You literally stand there and just make sure the thing runs. And on top of that, they have a leaderboard that you do nothing about. They will put their scores in. And then on week 2, when people come in, you go, all right, guys, we got our 100 people. All 100 people are back. Guess what? We got so-and-so in first, so-and-so in second, so-and-so in third, and so-and-so in fifth. Those are our top 5. Let's give them a round of applause. And then you start your new heats, right? And you just give the props and the credit where credit's due. Like, it's all there for you. Like, it's a home run hit.
Mhm.
You know, it is stressful and it's a lot of work and you need manpower, but most of the heavy lifting of the logistics of things, like, you got to buy clipboards, 10 clipboards, big fucking deal, you know?
Yeah.
And you got to spend a lot of money on printer paper and what's a toner, printer toner.
Yeah.
So much.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I get what you're saying. I think in the argument of the 8 heats of 5, like you're doing the same thing.
Yeah. All I was saying was like, how could a small space do it if you didn't have 10 lanes?
8
That's
heats
all
5.
I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
Like,
I just want 10 lanes.
And to address Marissa's comment of like, what are the rest of the members going to do if you cap it at 40? It's like, I'm talking about a space that only has access for 5 lanes. Like, I doubt they have 300 to 500 members. Like, so you extrapolate that back down. I bet like at most you have 40 to 50 people even interested who are nearing intermediate level, like that might even want to do it. Otherwise, you can just have people come hang out and be a part of the community, have their like fun cheering and supporting, because a vast majority of people don't have any interest in doing Friday Night Lights half the time. Some people do for sure. And if you made a scaled and inclusive division alongside it and did
CrossFit
2
does
different
that for
groups,
you.
I'm talking about just a Friday Night Lights, like not the open.
You have like, oh, you're doing scaled, cool, and they're like ready to go. And they're in the lane, because you could have somebody doing scaled and RX right next to each other.
Yeah, I'm just talking about.
Yeah,
I'm just simply talking about not like what.
I'm just hyped up because I've already thought about this. So like anything you say to like bring it down, I'm like, no, this is
not
how
bringing it down. I'm the one that brought it up. I'm literally the one that's like, we could do that. Do you think it's worth it? Why don't we do that? It's like,
it's only worth it because it's cool. It's cool. It's cool, man. I mean, I don't know. Why do we do anything? Honestly, now
at our gym, I think we could run 10 heats or 10 lanes. To your point, like at DTC, we have 5 squat racks. We have a Rogue Monster Light rig up the middle that would create basically lanes going outward, and you just put a perimeter of people around the edge shaped like a U, and then people could watch and they'd move in and out of the rig to and from it, so it'd be lane flow. We could do a really cool local little throwdown for Friday Night Lights. And the next question is like, are you inviting other people or is it an in-house event? And it's like, I think that if it's a 300 to 500 member gym and you
everybody,
if you had the space, cap it at 80 to 100 people and be like, our members have first come, first serve, and then we'll extend the invite out. And it is still first come, first serve.
Yeah.
The surrounding gyms.
I mean, it's another thing too, where like, if it gets that big, you're going to have to charge for it.
Yeah. Because you 25, $35.
Yeah. Cause you got to, at some point, the tipping point of like your time, energy, and effort, like, and everybody else who's supporting you, like, need to get paid. Cause like, again, like I said, the overhead's already there. And like the CrossFit's done a lot of the work for you already, that the money is going to just go to the people helping, like the Kathy that you have in your gym that's helping you, the coaches that are there every week. You know, you just gotta, I know like not all the time is money a motivator, but it helps. It helps make the burn of it. Cause that's a hard thing to do. Like really hard. I know in theory, I like laid it out, but like the actionable of it is very tough.
For sure.
So that those 3 weeks would be like, but it'd be cool.
I wasn't even talking about doing a 3-week thing. I'm still on my like singular Friday Night Lights event. Like I'm still on that. Like you went off on a much deeper tangent. I'm still just like,
because I've thought about it. Like even today we're running over, like John and I were looking at the space and what we're going to do for semifinals and how we can set that up with lanes and be efficient with cameras and like everything else. So like we're already setting that up and thinking about it and like running through like where the errors, what could happen, like what could people like, not like, what are we gonna have to change? How quickly can we change like a pull-up bar? Like what happens if there's like rings for things? And so I like that kind of stuff, like problem solving that way. So it's kind of fun to do, but once we figure out like, okay, these are the areas that we think are going to be issues, and then we bring in somebody else and we're like, okay, here are all the things we thought about. You poke holes in this, then like our best shot to do what we want to do is going to be there. And we're still going to make mistakes and like have problems. But yeah, we're thinking about this stuff now. It's February 19th and we're going to be ready to go for April 3rd through the 6th for the Masters semifinals. I love it.
Takes
I'm
planning.
excited. I know. I want like 40 Masters here. Because like, here's the thing. Jason Grubb said outwardly that anyone could come to that gym that he's at. And I've looked at that gym online.
What
And
gym
like
is that?
in theory, I forget the name off the top of my head, but I have it saved in my Instagram. And then I went to their website and then I like Googled their, I'm like, in theory, that's a great sentiment. But dude, he gets more than 30 people in that building. He's in trouble. There's no way you're servicing those people who come down there with that space, that equipment. And then he's also on his Instagram saying he wants, 7 to 9 workouts for semifinals for Masters. I'm like, let's do 4. How about let's do 4, homie? Because let's say you get 10 people. What he's not thinking of is you get 10 people there for semifinals. You're doing one workout, or you're doing those sets. Sorry. Yeah. You're doing one workout 10 times. And then if you have 7 to 9, you're doing 70 to 90 workouts across those 4 days. And you think you're going to be able to invite everybody out there? Like those are the numbers people don't think about. And then 70 to 90 of those workouts, like you're doing each workout 10 times. It's crazy, dude. I don't know why he said that. When I think about it, I'm just like, oh, okay. Yeah. Cool. That's why we're not like, hey, come do this here at our gym. Because we don't have the space for it. So we're going to do it for our internal people. And then same thing with the open. But one day, maybe we will have all the space. We'll just do it. Dude, that'd be sick. If you could, someone could do this. Like how like Fittest the Coast rented a space out and you like bring the rig out and everything. And then for the people who are doing semis, it would probably be more for people who like know that they're not going to make it to the games. But you just run it like a comp, like you're saying. And you just run them through the weekend and make them pay. And they basically do an in-person semifinals for the age groups, or like in affiliate semifinals. You just rent out a space and it's like the Great Wolf CrossFit in affiliate semifinals. And you just get everybody who made semifinals come to that event.
That'd be cool. Like a little warehouse.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Like, are there rules against doing that? Like if an affiliate wants to do that, does it have to be like actually in your gym?
That's an interesting question because of the guy that was a firefighter who did one open workout for a team last year, but even his first attempt was at the affiliate and his second attempt wasn't. Like,
yeah, I'm just saying, like the individuals that know, like, you're not going, right? Let's say you were 800.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, if they're like that nitpicky about it, like, why wouldn't they be if you aren't doing it at the address of the affiliate? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Same
That's a
issue.
good question. I'm going to send an email to CrossFit and ask them.
Like, what would you do
if I ran like a comp style thing for the in affiliate semifinals and people came and did the workouts, but it's not at my physical location, and we rent out a banquet hall and we do this, what would happen to those scores? Like, does that classify? Because
just make a fake email though, so they can track.
No, I would just tell them, because if I'm the affiliate owner and I'm there present and I'm the one organizing this and putting in my efforts to do this and hold, let's say 40 men, 40 women to do the in affiliate semifinals, why would they say no?
Because they're not in an affiliate. It's just this nuance of verbiage and semantics.
I guess so. Then the question now lies with, like, is the affiliate the actual physical location, or is it the LOR on the affiliate?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
That's what Marissa's just asking, is like, then you're responsible for handing out games tickets.
No. I'm saying
I understand what you're saying.
Festivus. It's the Festivus of the CrossFit semifinals. Marissa says they aren't going to say no.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I know. That's interesting.
I think that they're pretty specific.
Well, no,
try to be real white, and then they get real gray in the standards, and then they're black and white in the verbiage.
You could change the address. She's like, you could change the address for the weekend for the site. But like, here's the thing. So CrossFit risk retention, your insurance, you can do like a 3-day, 4-day insurance coverage off site with CrossFit risk retention that covers you and all your trainers. And we've done that in the past. And you just tell them that you're going to be doing CrossFit and everything else across these days at this location. So like, if you can do that for your insurance policy, why wouldn't the affiliate carry over?
I don't know. Maybe fine.
Yeah, she's right. You can go online and just like change your own address. Like you can. Let's see. What if you're limited on equipment and space for the workouts? Yeah, Carlos, clarify that a little bit more.
Well, I think
like for
might be getting at like that would be like why you would get another space is because the
I
space
see what you're saying.
right
That could be an
now-
argument of like, oh, we have this many people and we want to run more heats at a time. So then that could be a reason. I mean, my reason is because I want to run like some weird locals in affiliate semifinal competition. Be interesting. I'm gonna send an email today, guys. Maybe next week we'll have an answer.
Let us know.
Yeah. Although 8 people watching will be like, oh, I got an answer.
All right.
Well, hopefully I don't get any hate on this in my opinion and perspective of this. And then also like, the truth of these things as being an affiliate owner who is plugged into CrossFit and the affiliate things and everything else. Because I just want good things, And if you have a different perspective that you want to share with me or open up my mind, DM me on Instagram at coach.toddwise and we'll have a conversation because not fixed.
To answer your question, Carlos, we have gone to other neighboring affiliates in the past. So if you don't have a specific piece of equipment, like a 15-foot rope is generally the most common limitation for people. You just have to go to a nearby affiliate in which you can just drop in for the day. Hopefully they're welcoming enough to allow you to do so. And then you film and record it there, essentially. So in that scenario, compared to us talking about renting a banquet hall, that is still in an affiliate location, brick and mortar, with the address associated with it.
You could tell your affiliate to, hey, you know what? For the open, it'd be a really cool idea. Is you guys could open gym hours, and you could charge people $10 to do their open workout on off times, so it's not bogged down through your classes. Now that would put a lot of work on the affiliate owner, but like, you get $10, man. Do your job. Carlos, I don't know your affiliate owner, but I feel like they'd be like, no, get out of here.
I don't know if Carlos owns the affiliate. I know he coaches there and has a crew of people that he's, leading and coaching.
Okay, so Carlos, you can then tell your affiliate, okay, guess what? You're gonna have people pay us $10. I'm gonna take $7. You get $3. I'll be here and run this. Run this motherfucker, and then you get the money, and then you just like slot people in.
Why stop at 10?
I don't know. I just picked a number. I'm sorry.
You could double that revenue stream, dude. It's like our usual drop in is 25. We're giving everyone a deal. We're gonna do 20.
I hope that. We hope that the open space is inclusive. I do hope that it is inclusive. If, like Harley was saying, for the semifinals or / quarterfinals in the past, we've had issues with the ropes and like the shuttle runs and like everything else. Like even in our space, like the shuttle runs are tough to do and they take up a lot. And then even like if you're trying to get a really hot score because you got to like turn from thing and run this way and you might have to run an extra like 5 feet, like it does make a difference, as we all know. So yeah, that is tough. But Carlos, hopefully those ideas help you. And then even Marissa was like, $10. What is this? 1900? All right. Sorry. Okay. $20.
You know what you can get for $10 nowadays?
Not a whole lot.
A coffee at Starbucks. Yeah. 1 cup of bean water with sugar.
I was just going the volume model because let's say Carlos has like 7 people and it's $10 a week to do that. And he's got $70 a week. He's got $210 at the end of the month. You know, can't even get a coffee for $10. All right, sorry guys. What is it? What should it be then? What should be the cost?
$20 drop-in fee, dude. $20, $25.
$20 to $30 drop-in. Yeah, okay. Drop-in fee.
Whatever a normal drop-in fee is.
Yeah, pay for Carlos's time and the space. Time and space.
Dude, if Carlos is gonna set up all the cameras, measure tape lines, and do the standards for you,
I mean,
that's
if he
just
does,
50. That's just $50.
you know what? I would get down with that. If it was $50
Can't
a
judge you.
week, yeah, I think it's $50 a week, and he's going to do all that and provide a premium service. So that's fair. Because even if you get 5 people paying you $50 a week, it's still
I
pretty
mean,
good.
you
$50 a
also have to
week.
take the extended judges course, which is $40.
True. Your
Well-
affiliate owner should be paying for that. Look at Harley's face.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, all right, Carlos, you still there, buddy?
Prob's not. He probably has to go like I have to go. I'm gonna go.
All right,
eat
well,
some
next
food.
time, yeah, $50, Carlos, $50. Schedule them out. Open gym it. You could do it. I believe in you. He said, appreciate you guys in the channel. I coach CrossFit at Fullerton and do more one-on-ones and personal coaching, but allows CrossFit methodology, 10 athletes at the moment. Yeah, dude. Hey, talk to them. Write up the value, the trade that you're going to do. Like Harley said, the judging course, set up their camera, give them a really good experience. I love it. $50 a week. Or just tell them it's $150. We'll do all 3 weeks. Have a good time. And then if you're feeling real spicy, you make some homemade cookies and bring them in every week for them. Post workout snacks. I mean, if you're not a baker, find somebody who is. It's a small price to pay for their exchange. Yeah, dude. Look at we're hyped for you, dude. Get it, Carlos. Give them a good experience. I love it. I hope that was useful for you and you get some good ideas. Go for it and let us know how it goes. All right, guys. If you haven't already, comment, like, subscribe, hit me up in the DMs if you want to argue, or I call it arguing, but it's just debate, conversation, mind-opening things. And we'll see you next week. Are we just going to do the open announcement instead of Wednesday, like we've done in the years past?
I don't have time on Thursdays anymore.
All right. Well, if we have to, I'll do it solo.
Okay.
Solo bolo.
Yeah, get a taco guy, Carlos. Dude, that's worth the $50 right there. Let's go.
Yeah. I'll get a taco guy. That's cool. Yeah.
Just keep that truck on deck, just